What's up, y'all? This is 10X Generation, and this is my road to $1 billion. I think I know why most people don't live up to their true potential, why they don't actually ever reach the success that they know they can achieve, that they know they have the ability to achieve. The reason is because they don't stick with the plan and because they don't have patience and perseverance. I found so in my life, I have found that so many times I go into a situation, like I see somebody or I see something that gives me an idea or inspires me to do something great. And I read up on their story and I read up how they did it. And I'm like, man, I can do that too. And I set out a course of action of how I'm going to take it. And then I start walking down that path with, enthusiasm and all that. And then as I learn more, there's things that conflict. There's things that don't fully fit my model. And I start to get discouraged and confused. And at that moment, I usually sometimes just give up, right? And that's what most people do. They just give up. They're like, wow, this is way harder than I thought it was. I'm going to switch to something else easier. And they go to the next shiny object. But here's the irony. Those people who persevere, who keep going, find out if they continue that their initial plan was actually correct all along. All those pieces all over the place, those additional pieces of information coalesce into a central idea that is very similar to your initial assumptions. But what happens is that people get scared. People get nervous that they're not good enough to be able to do something, or they don't understand enough and they were just wrong. No, sometimes you were correct. In my life, I've developed apps, and I have this app out called Neon Controller. And my initial goal for that app was to make it a passive income stream, right? Because I had saw something. I saw that there were apps on the App Store, on the Google Play Store, that make over $30,000 a month that are very simple. Text editors, Photoshop kind of things, and AI chatbots, and like things like that, right? And I'm like, man, I'm a fairly sophisticated programmer. I can do that. So I looked at their monetization scheme. I looked at their payment pages. I looked at all that, and I got to work. But as soon as I reached a certain barrier, as soon as something didn't completely 100% conform with my initial idea, what I did was pivot. And in my case, what it was I got literally a couple of bad reviews of people saying, why are you using this monetization strategy? Why are you charging a subscription instead of a one-time purchase for your product? And I entertained that. And I switched it, and it's been a one-app purchase, a one-time purchase for a year and a half now. But now that I'm completely locked into Neon Controller, and I'm doing research, and I'm tweaking everything, and I'm looking at data, looking at analytics, looking at statistics, looking at everything, I find that number one, my best customers are those who subscribed in the very beginning. The in-app purchasers, they're also phenomenal as well, but not as good as the subscribers, right? Number two, people convert more with subscriptions. It boggles the mind. Why? It doesn't even make sense. People subscribe more, right? And three, the amount of revenue that I've made in that short period of time, when I was following the plan, is comparable to all the money that I've made after that. And this is, maybe 3 months and then a year and a quarter, right? It's comparable. Like, of course, the one in-app purchase is way more, but the fact that it's so close is like, oh my gosh, what? And like, I'm reaching the end of that curve where I'm like, I'm gonna do what I initially said I was going to do. I'm gonna go straight forward into it with this newly gained knowledge. I'm gonna go for it. And like, it's going crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've gotten more sales than I've ever gotten in the 36 hours that this update has been out. It's wild. It's wild. So this is your call to action. whatever you're doing, whatever plan you're skirting around and you're scared to do because it's more difficult than you thought it was, stick with the plan. Stick with your first plan. Stick with your first plan. Stick with your first plan, because chances are you were feeding into something, you were tapping into something that was distilled. It was pure. It was pure. And as you learn more, it messes it up a little bit. But if you keep on that path, you actually end up exactly where you started. So yeah, that's what I think. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share with someone who you see is wavering and doesn't know what they're doing and always switching up as soon as things get difficult or a little challenging. Send this to someone like that. And I hope for the most amount of success for all of you guys, because you all can do it. Guys and girls, right? All of you. So thank you so much. This is 10X Generation, and I'll see you guys next time.